Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. Adjusting to the wholly new experience found in the Clerk's ward, you begin to relax a bit. However different you might feel and look to the students and scholars and bureaucratic workforce, all are very much the same, just wanting to enjoy a few moments of peace and leisure before returning to whatever Sigil may have in store for them next. You stroll further down the plaza and find Anna looking rather bored, engaged in a very much one-sided conversation with a slightly portly gnomish gentleman.
Unless a rotating schedule system could be implemented in order to...
His clothing and accessories are extremely clean, neat, and well cared for, and a symbol resembling a stylized dagger piercing upwards through a flame is embroidered upon his tunic. Anna gives you a curt smile as you approach, and rolls her eyes as the man continues lecturing her on some intricacy of the workplace environment.
Where they come from. Dear, you haven't said a word. But let me just explain.
Greetings! The man's eyes pass over you, but then suddenly gleam as they fix on Mort, causing him to cease his verbal essay.
Oh, I say, would you look at that? A floating skull.
What? Where?
By the unjust laws of tyranny the merciless.
He suddenly covers his mouth and looks at Anna apologetically.
Who?
Sorry. The man was a horrible tyrant, now long dead. His name should never be spoken so. 'Tis rather vulgar. My deepest apologies, milady. I did not mean to offend.
Talk as you like. I care not a whit for what you say unless you're rattling your bone box about me, that is.
He turns back to Mort.
But behold, a skull, buoyant, levitating off the ground, cognitive of its environment, and possessing hearing, speaking, and seeing capabilities.
He turns to you as if you are suddenly a confidant.
This is truly one of the reasons that the plains shall never become dull to me, sir. Just when you think you have seen everything, the plains show you yet another corner to peer around, and...
He raises his hands gloriously.
Suddenly, whole new, wondrous vistas are open to you.
I'm not sure if Mort qualifies as a wondrous vista. Hey!
The man ignores you, looking to Mort instead.
I say, skull?
Look! Behind you! Another floating skull!
No! Where? Where?
Right where I'm pointing. There!
Pointing? Where? I cannot see it.
You just missed it. A whole parade of them. Probably never happen again in a million revolutions of the Great Ring.
I sense you also possess a peculiar degree of mockery.
I prefer to call it a keen insight into human nature.
All right. Greetings, sir. He seems to finally see you for the first time, and his eyes widen.
By the unjust laws of tyranny,
He catches himself, again looking apologetic.
I say, are you all right? You look hurt.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Hey, it hurts to look at him, it does.
Very amusing, Anna. Why don't you introduce me to your friend here?
What? No?
Of course. Apologies, the deepest. Why, my name is Abel Ponderthought.
Well, Abel.
Abel Ponderthought.
Abel Ponderthought. Well, what was it that you were just talking about?
I was just speaking with this Amy about my new office. You see, I passed my administrator exam just recently and have achieved the status of an A9. A research consultant in the Hall of Records, one of the many aides specializing in Sigil's physical laws and history. I research topics and laws of interest to others. It is quite fascinating, really.
That does sound fascinating. Right, Amy? Anna shoots you a glare, but can clearly barely contain her grin.
Well, I am glad you think so. You see...
You must know a lot about Sigil.
I would say I do.
Perhaps I could ask you some questions.
Oh, certainly. Information is born to be shared, not coveted like some would choose for it. Ask, sir, ask.
I'm looking for information about a night hag. Have you heard the name Ravel Puzzlewell?
Have I? Ravel, if she truly existed, and there is little to prove that she did, was a night hag, yes. One of the inhabitants of the Grey Waste, one of the lower planes, and believed by some to be the worst of the lower planes. As the legend goes, Ravel was mazed several centuries ago. She was believed of being a mistress of many strange magics, and apparently her presence in Sigil constituted a threat to the lady. I am afraid that I know little about her.
Mazed?
The mazes. These are creations by the lady. You see, she takes a small piece of sigil, copies it, then uses a portal to place the copied bit into the deep ethereal. Once there, the piece of sigil then becomes a demiplane, an endless maze that curls and twists about itself. The lady uses these mazes to imprison anyone who threatens her power. Once she has determined that you are to be imprisoned, there is no escaping them. There is believed to be a way out of each maze, but it is most likely extremely difficult.
Right.
As I said, I know little about her, Ravel, but I could do some research.
Sure.
Yes, I shall look into it. I should have the information in less than a day from now.
Thanks. Can I ask you to look into something else?
I can most certainly try, sir. What is it you seek to know of?
I'm looking for information on any deceased person who matches my description. He seems puzzled.
An odd request, sir? Such a person, or people, would have to have been noteworthy figures for my work to turn up anything of interest. Are you investigating an ancestor of yours, or...?
Something like that. Can you check?
Yes, of course.
My thanks. I do have some questions about this place.
I'll admit I know little of this part of the Clerk's Ward, sir, but please, ask.
Why is it called the Clerk's Ward?
It is a seat of much of Sigil's record halls and administration. The staff at these places give the ward its name. Many clerks, scribes, priests, bureaucrats, and administration officials live in this ward.
But you say you know little of this area.
Yes. Well, this particular area, it's more of an entertainment locale. The Civic Fest Hall, home of the Society of Sensation, art galleries, and the brothel, sir, of slating intellectual lusts.
The brothel? He nods, looking somewhat embarrassed.
Yes, well, I have been there on occasion, for the conversation.
He glances at Anna, then flushes an even deeper red. She, of course, looks unperturbed.
It is a large, round building in the centre of this part of the ward. Of course, a focal point for those of the sensates who seek to understand the multiverse through experience.
The sensates, they're a faction, right?
Oh, yes, one of the more prominent ones. Their search for answers through taste, touch, and emotional ardour appeals to many. But I would rather ask real questions, like, what is outside of Sigil?
What is outside of Sigil?
No one knows. And it is not from want of trying. At the places where no true wall exists are solid walls of buildings with no windows that look beyond. Some claim to have climbed roofs and seen the outside of Sigil, but they can only describe the outside as nothing. That is an unacceptable explanation, but it still remains a mystery. It is rumoured, without fact, that to step beyond Sigil's walls takes the traveller to a random plane, but this has not been confirmed. The Fraternity of Order has mounted many expeditions, and we have yet to retrieve concrete information.
The Fraternity of Order?
My faction, to whom I belong and owe my knowledge. The Fraternity of Order believes that the multiverse...
Abel Ponderthought continues to talk like this for some time, covering an array of topics, including the light cycles of Sigil, details and histories of various faction leaders, observed days of note that he hopes to form into something called a calendar, and the ever-growing question of where does all the Razorvine come from? It isn't a wholly unentertaining experience, and he really does seem to have a passion for the sharing of information.
From whence few ever escape. 7. She does not like to be worshipped. Those that do are often found with their skin missing. And lastly, 8. The sight of her is believed to drive others mad.
The sight of her drives people mad.
Yes,
He ponders it for a moment.
but I must add the caveat that I have never seen her, you understand?
I do. That was exceptionally informative. Thank you.
Of course, of course. I am always most happy to answer what questions I can, young sir.
I think I've learned everything I can handle right now.
Ah, I understand. Knowledge, like nature's drug, imparts dizzying highs, but must come with the fall.
Right. I should probably be going.
I bid you a good afternoon, and till the next time. When I shall return on your research. Farewell.
Farewell, Abel Ponderthought. Thanks for rescuing me, I suppose. Yeah, I kinda liked him. Aye, gosh, you did. The man who asks all the questions meets the man with all the answers. Match made by Topia. Alright, well, why were you speaking to him in the first place? Why'd you think? You robbed him while we were talking, didn't you? Tried to, so it's got nothing on him. Whatever. Amongst this sea of well-dressed and rather well-fed citizens, there is one in particular who stands out amongst this crowd. An exceptionally tall woman with elongated ears and elegant but wholly unfamiliar features stands by one of the cafes. She is sipping from a small ceramic wine cup and anxiously scans the crowd around her as though looking or perhaps waiting for someone.
Wow. Stop your drooling, you leering skull. You know, Anna, if you're jealous, just say so. I could drool over you, too.
Get a hair's breadth closer, Skull, and I'll see to it that not one of your chattering teeth lies within 100 paces of another. Greetings! The woman turns to face you, her violet eyes flashing like chips of amethyst. Her speech is odd, musical almost. You can hear a faint tinkling like tiny crystal bells as she speaks, each word lingering in your ears as if they came from your very own thoughts. Namel turned to face the scarred dour stranger. She asked what he wished of her. Namel, you're... Unbelievably, this is the person that Glyve from the Weeping Stone Catacombs said could unlock the powers of the decanter of endless water that you had found there. As it happens, I was told to find you. Namel was surprised by the chance encounter. What could the stranger want with her here in the clerk's ward? She searched his eyes warily. There is something deeply unsettling about the way she looks at you, instigating a fear or shame, perhaps. Apologies. I was told that you'd know the word to unlock this. Namel makes no move to touch or examine the decanter you hold before her, but only speaks. Namel took it from the stranger, turning it in her hands. Had she seen its like before, she thought? Perhaps. Yes, she remembered. She returned the decanter, whispering into his ear as she did so. You realize you know the word now. Nilden Osage. Though you're certain the woman never whispered to you, but merely said she did. She blinks at you and smiles slightly. Would the stranger leave her now, satisfied with what she had told him? Just a moment. Are you looking for someone? Where could she be? Namel wondered. Her companion, Elwyn, was supposed to have met her here days ago. Namel sighs miserably. The air around her grows chill with her sadness. How long must she search this vast, foreign city before she finds her dearest friend? I could help you find your friend. What does she look like? She clasps her hands together and bows her head to you. She would be so pleased to hear news of her friend. She told the kind stranger what Elwyn looked like, so that he would know her should he come across her. An image forms in your mind. A woman who resembles Namel in stature, but with golden eyes and hair of fiery crimson. I'll return if I find her. Farewell.
I The two of you, you're just the same.
What? Me and Mort? What do you mean?
Hey, you don't have to sound too upset, Chief.
It's all it takes, innit? Some lofty chit with a jewel-like eyes and you'll go stomping about the spire running errands. Anna, it's not like that. She was... I don't know. There was something about her. I had to help.
Aye, she bewitched you and had no hard time of it the way you were gawping. Whatever, do as you like. Though perhaps you can help me for a change.
Well, what do you need?
You see that group over there?
She points to a gathering of slightly bemused-looking clerks huddled around some kind of street performer.
Strike up a conversation or something. Ask your questions. I'm gonna go bob 'em, and I need a distraction.
All right. Just be careful. We're pretty much in the open here.
Oh, well, don't you worry about me.
The artist at the center of this gaggle is dressed in a skin-tight suit made of some kind of shimmering fabric. Their face is painted with heavy makeup, a pair of arched eyebrows has been penciled onto their brow, and red powder is being used to make small circles on their cheeks and accentuate their lips. As you approach, you can see that their mouth is moving as they beckon you closer, but no sound is being made.
What? I can't hear you.
The artist hangs their head, pantomiming a sigh, and then shrugs. They then mime picking up a rope, you think, before making to lasso it over your head. You feel nothing, of course, but as you step and reach out to them, your hand is stayed by some unseen force. The performance artist appears to actually be trapped in a kind of invisible box or cage. Suddenly, they make a mock sad face and press their palms against the unseen barrier, leaning up to you.
What in the hell's happened here?
Odd, no? I've never seen anything quite like it. I find this act quite annoying, yet oddly interesting at the same time.
One of the surrounding voyeurs takes this opportunity to critique the artist's performance.
What's going on?
I'm not certain I understand it, to be honest. Something to do with the futility of action in the endless grind of the multiverse? This entertainer's act normally involves all sorts of impersonations and physical comedy. It was quite charming. I've seen them before.
Another critic chimes in, and you notice Anna circling behind, giving you a barely perceptible nod.
Earlier, a passing mage walked by, and the artist mimicked his unusual gait. The mage, angered, cursed the poor fellow.
Anna delicately brushes past the speaker, and you see her completely soften her body language from the stalking predator that she'd often present to something far more congenial. The clerk almost begins to lean in, as though they were both now close friends.
I think they can no longer speak and are trapped in the same invisible box that earlier they pretended to be confined within.
Anna gently touches the woman's arm with a sympathetic gentleness, but you notice the gilded bracelet slip from her mark's wrist, which she covers with a feigned concern.
Quite panicked at first, it seemed, but have calmed themselves now and continue with this act newly defined.
A bit too ironic for me. On the nose, no?
Just a bit.
I pity him, though his fate may be well deserved. How long, I wonder, shall he be trapped? Jackpot?
Not bad, I have to admit.
Oh, you think you could do better?
Probably not. But I think you could.
Oh? And are you gonna teach me?
There's one or two things I might know that you don't.
What? Are you serious?
She raises an eyebrow.
Oh, you're saying you know everything.
All right. What are these shadowy secrets that I don't know then?
Well, what you just did there was cute, but would that have worked on the guy standing next to her? He looked like he had a lot of coin. Why didn't you go for him?
Stuck up, too guarded.
Oh, and you think there's no way you could have distracted him?
What are you saying?
Well, you add a few more slashes to the front of that vest, and no one's gonna care if you're picking their pockets or not.
Anna blinks, shocked.
Are you saying you think I play the harlot?
Well, why the hell else are you wearing that thing?
I just get hot. I do. It's my blood, I think. This vest lets my skin breathe.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were going for.
You bark.
Anna freezes stock still, and tears start to form in her eyes.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to...
Please, don't be upset.
I can't help it. It's your fault.
Anna squeezes her eyes closed.
You should have said anything about the vest. Now I'm all thinking about it, I am.
You place your hands on her shoulders and square her to face you.
Now, look me in the eye. Now it's okay. Forget I even mentioned it.
Anna's gaze locks with yours. She's still stiff, shaking slightly, and she's biting her lip. Then suddenly, she pushes herself into you, and her hands wrap around your back, closing you into a long, tight embrace. I'm sorry, Anna. She tilts back, looking you in the eye, then slowly leans in, sniffing slightly around your neck. Then, up along your cheekbone.
I like the way you smell. I do.
She rubs her cheek against yours, and to your surprise, you can feel how smooth her skin is.
Your skin's like leather, it is.
Then, just as you start to sink into the embrace, she pushes away.
Anna, Check your purse.
What? You reach down and grab Anna's tail as it slowly unwinds from your pack. Anna steps back and she gives a wicked grin.
Is that what you meant? Nicking a purse off a mark like that, eh?
She seems a little flushed, and you notice her heart is beating fast. But if you're honest, so is yours.
Dead easy, it is.
So it is.
Now, yous run along. I still got work to do.
Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.